All right, wholeness. Today is still 10-9. This is a reading for 10-10. Hills numerology, cards of the day, whatever you want to call it. I did the write up on Facebook, so I'll be reading directly off my phone and then pulling a card based off of what I get from off of the cards. Hey there, how you doing? You're beautiful. I'm gonna do things to you later. I am. 10-10, 2025. Core traumatic programming. What I just exhibited was core traumatic programming. But you know what? I'd rather have that as a core trauma than some of the shit some of y'all run around here with. Side note before I get into this reading, I don't mean no harm to anybody, but y'all need to stop meaning harm to yourself. Some of y'all look batshit crazy. And I know you could probably say the same thing about me, and that's fine, and I don't care, because I let my life tell my tale, and I'm happy as fuck. Some of y'all are unhappy, and some of y'all are fine being unhappy because that's the only definition you've learned. And that makes me sad for you. It really does. I'm not even being funny. It's sad to watch how many people enjoy staying in pain cycles and don't want nothing better. That age old, I's not tired yet, baby. Damn, you just posted something about no, we ain't our ancestors. Shit. See how that play around? But we ain't gonna go there. Let's get into this. It'll come up in the reading anyway. 10-10, 2025. Again, 10 in my number system is choice. It's the wheel of fortune. It is the point of separation. So when you're dealing with 10-10, before I even break it down and tell you 10-10 is source code, your core traumatic programming, think about what I said 10 is. 10 is choice. So if I have 10 here and 10 there, and all I got is choices, holy sheep shit. Spiritual promiscuity. Oh shit. Indulgence. Oops. Indulgence. When you got so much stuff going on around you and it's just, you can choose from everything, sometimes the whole answer was don't choose any of it at all. It's a trick and it's a trap. Best example I can give, and I gave this to Gigi if you do come through here. I was making a reference about Percy and the Lightning Thief, Percy Jackson. And it's older than that, but that's a good analogy. It's from the movie. And they were in Vegas. And they were eating these lotus cakes of forgetfulness. And so now every time they would eat those cakes, the things that they wanted to see was appearing in front of them, but the things that they already knew or the things that they were supposed to be focusing on became harder to grasp. You would eat the lotus cake and all of your illusions would become reality. Notice the air quotes. That's where some of y'all are at. You're in that all them choices around you is so much to choose from. It's overwhelming, and now you're investing more into what you can choose from than what's good for you. I'm sorry if y'all not smart enough to see through that, but that's kind of like what society does to you. In this current Orwellian society, it ain't even an oligarchy. I don't even know what the hell you call it right now. In this shit show that we're in this shit show, the best way to keep the sheep in line is to put them through so much that they don't have time to think. Not much. What's going on, Jaguar? So we're inundated, and hold us to y'all. If I didn't speak to you, my apologies, hold us. They keep us inundated on so much, and you have to start thinking bigger. I use the government as an example because in my line of thinking and what I watch is everything you need to see gets shown, but when you quit or when you never step up to reveal the answers, it only keeps getting more obvious. Like, man, you saw what was going on. No, I missed that. Don't worry, it'll come back around. And then if you ain't paying attention, no, I missed that. Don't worry, it'll come back around. And it's gonna keep coming back around and be so much more prominent than the time before that you can't deny it. You understand that? We've been getting shown where we're at now for decades, if not longer. But let's just, let's keep it short. For the past few decades, we've been leading up to where we're at now. And now that you can't deny where we're at, a lot of people are denying that we're here. So guess what? It'll only keep coming around and showing you more and more of a shit show until you say, holy shit, maybe this is what it is. Now, what are we gonna do? What you gonna do? I was powerful thirsty, boss. What you gonna do? Most of you sit down and be still and watch, or vote, or write a petition, or cry, or in some of y'all cases, y'all gonna go into states of moral decay. You're gonna go into states of moral decay, and you're gonna only perform for the same systems that want you to stay in separation, mass mentality, mob mentality, things like that. Things that they've been showing y'all for the past couple of years to normalize. You remember last year and parts of this year where they were making it legal for people to loot so that you get used to seeing looters. Just like over the years, they've been publicly watching you, letting you watch people get killed. And some of y'all are stupid enough to keep posting it so that you become desensitized and normalized with death and decay and things on that level. So when it becomes something that you should be paying attention to, you don't have any energy for it. You've already seen too much. You've already 10-10'd. It's already a part of your programming. Man, I saw somebody get shot 30 times. Yeah, me too, man. I saw that same post. I reposted it. I put it in my stories. You mean you that desensitized to the human value of life that you keep posting death? Because it ain't an issue. It ain't that serious. It ain't me. Holy shit, 10-10. You already lost. You ain't no better than the motherfuckers that is allowing it in the system, and no better than the stupid motherfuckers that are performing the act. Again, if you're new to me or if you just got in here, see everything I just said. You've already bit into the core traumatic programming of choosing what ain't good for you so that you stay overwhelmed by it, that you don't even see what's on the other side of the damn picture. Feed them just enough. Feed them just enough choices to choose from that they'll never choose themselves. It ain't even just a joke, because some people don't treat it as a joke. It don't register. It don't mean nothing to me. I know we seen these memes, and I was talking to my wife about that a little while ago. We're at that point of them old pictures from the 1500s and 1600s where you see the guy standing there and he got a knife in his head and another one in his back, and he just standing there like this. It don't hurt no more. We don't have morality anymore. We don't have any compassion. We don't have a human connection to what's right and what's wrong. We just have whatever makes me feel safe. And again, if they keep showing you so many things that are unsafe, you become safe watching unsafe things that they're no longer unsafe to you. Let your life tell your tale and ask your children about that. For those of y'all in y'all 30s, you millennials who got on the dark web and start watching motherfuckers get their heads cut off, y'all ain't got no problem with that. You ain't got no problem with watching death because they make it readily available. So it becomes your core traumatic programming is witnessing dark acts, so they no longer register as dark. Desensitization is what it's called. So we're at a point to where when you hit your 10-10 function, and again, as far as this reading, 10-10, 2025, this year vibrationally, 2025, judged by what's guiding me. That's what 2025 means in my number system. I've been judged by what's guiding me. Unfortunately, if what's guiding me is only intending to trick me, I've been judged by what I allow to trick me. 2025, 9. 9 is your highest vibration. 9 is you in spiritual agitation. 9 is you in total investment. Turn the volume up to 9. For a lot of systems, that was as high as it would go until they start tricking y'all with all these other numbers. But that's something different. So 9 is your highest vibration. Basically, you're plugged in. If you're fully plugged in into what they want you to be plugged into, you're already under control. Why? Because you no longer can think for yourself. You're only thinking for, holy shit, 10-10, the choices that they presented you with. But again, you have to learn how to start thinking for what shit is and not for what you think you know based off of what your ego has told you it wants to see. That's a classic Jedi mind trick. And that's how a lot of people operate is you don't think for yourself, you think for your traumas, or you think for the systems that you are traumatically attached to because you think that's what's going to set you free. That's a form of it. It's really more than predictive programming. Predictive programming is to me it's a lower level trick. It's a trick nonetheless though, because it's the same thing as putting something down and making enough people read it or watch it that they produce it. The thought farming process, kind of like what I was describing, is more thought farming. It's where you give them the choices and then you trick people into this stupid word here, free will. Predictive programming, you ain't got no choice because it's already in your subconscious. Paying attention to something that is not healthy for you, that's your free will. But if I'm using my free will to trap and tap my energy into something that is already misusing and abusing me, did it do it or did I do it to myself? And that is why I say predictive programming, lower level traps within thought farming. If somebody can farm your thoughts by presenting you with enough choices to where you now oversee the choices yourself, like I was saying, you egoically think you have a handle on what's going on. I'm chosen. We going through a new paradigm shift. I'm from the new earth. I'm from the old earth. I'm an indigo. I'm a starseed. You start giving yourself identities within the programming that now they've already farmed you, and then they can get you to program a bunch of futuristic events by streamlining your thoughts through predictive processes. I've been talking about thought farming and thoughts and manifestations for years. Basically, all you do is present somebody with an idea, and if you can trick that motherfucker into thinking that it's their original thought, they'll fight to hold on to it. Why? Because of the ego. The ego is already desiring experience. This is where this reading is going to come in from my perspective. Core traumatic programming tells me that I already have something that already presents a state of lack. And as I did in my write-up, core traumatic programming in 2025, the year of control, your core need of fear can keep you under control. Fear is at the base of everything. Only fear is misunderstood. You can have a fear of losing too much. Fear ain't always lack-based. Fear is when you're in the excess and I don't want to see anything different. That's kind of like what this country goes through. We have so many greedy bastards that have only generationally done nothing but abuse others. So now their wealth is secure, that their fear is losing what they've stolen from others because they think the others that they stole from only want retribution. So it keeps them in a fear mindset of always wanting to hoard and streamline anybody that can take from them by making sure that they never get enough to get into a position to take what they already stole. Take your time with that one. That works out in almost everything. If you're in a relationship with a narcissistic abuser, they're only going to let you go as far as what keeps them safe to keep you stuck. They're only going to let you go as far as what's going to keep them safe in keeping you stuck. We're in a narcissistic relationship. This whole planet, from the individual to the total fucked up ass collective, it's in a narcissistic relationship with trying to find the safest thought, core trauma, trying to find the safest thought to go through so that it can experience safety. Let your life tell your tale. People don't want to be free. They just want to be safe. 2020 showed us that almost every year. As far as myself personally, without going back too far, let's just say since 1999, and that's probably going back too far for a lot of y'all. Ever since 1999, there has been major fear cycles in this planet. Prince's song, 1999. When it got to the end of 1999, for those of y'all that are old enough to remember it, everybody went crazy. We thought the world was going to end because I'm a party like it's 1999. We made it past that, the Y2K virus and all this other shit. Then we got to the end of the Mayan calendar at 2012. Oh my God, time ends in 2012. Jesus is coming back. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, Y2K. So then we got to 2012. Next thing you know, fear run in and everybody going crazy. And it's been a bunch of points along the way in between 1999 and 2012. But then from 2012, we got to 2016, and you had the genocidal maniac that's in there now coming in, and we thought shit was gonna hit the fan. Plus some other bullshit. Iran was threatening us. Russia was threatening us. We was just doing stupid shit. So fear mind was kicking in. The only thing we could choose was fear, because the only thing we was being shown was reasons to have fear. And then holy sheep shit, we were supposed to get out of fear in 2020, and what we do, jump in that bit double dutching. We were supposed to get out of fear in 2020, judged by what I used for judgment. That's what 2020 meant. It was a vision test. What are you seeing? You understand that? What are you seeing? If you're a parent, when you talk to your child and they've done some dumb shit, what were you seeing? And if they come out their mouth with some stupid shit like, I don't know, that's not a good enough answer. But that's not a good enough answer. I'm gonna need you to think. What do? I don't know. So save me. Wear a mask. Everybody comply. Lost our fucking mind. Why? Because the only thing we had to choose from was fear, where there was already fear. Guess the only fucking thing that you're going to keep producing. Ta-da, fear. So 2020, when we were supposed to be doing something different, we only done more of the same, and better. And we ain't broke from that cycle yet. Why? Because the idiotic programming within, remember I told you the gatekeepers, the overseers, they will try and find definition, them lotus cakes. All I know is fear, so fear ain't what fear is for me. You might be scared, but I ain't scared, but I'm going to do what they say. So we out here only producing safer levels of fear within the fear. So you lie to yourself. 2021 going to be my year. 2022, the aliens coming. 2023, Jesus coming again. 2024, the aliens coming again. 2025, we going to have a spiritual war. 2026, aliens coming again. You'll concoct whatever keeps you safe, where you chose danger. You forgot to own up that, holy shit, the danger was me. My inability to stop seeing through all of these goddamn tricks and traps mean I helped create them. What's that game they play like in streets of New York and at carnivals? The shell game. They get 3 cups and they put the ball up under it. And then he do all this shit right there and pick a cup, not knowing that the shell ain't up under any one of the cups until he did his little magic trick and put it there. That one, you done lost your money. All right, play again. That one, you done lost your money. You ain't realized, holy shit, this shit is a trick. This motherfucker does this every day. I know he ain't gonna be out here just giving me free money, so there must be a catch. Instead of common sense kicking in and saying, holy shit, before I go out here and waste my energy, or there's a person under the table, and when he does like that, the ball falls out of the cup, and then when he ends, the person taps right there to let him know which cup the ball's in, and then he slides it back in. Illusions. Ill-used energy. You ain't smart enough to see that everything is a smoke and mirror. You just keep lighting your match, providing the flame. And then there is believing what you see, or just agreeing to majority because you don't want to own up to yourself. Oh, this is what the Sufi, S-U-F-I, the Sufi people, the Sufi water folktale. And that's an old, the Hopi people, the Sufi water folktale. Qadir, I think was his name, the prophet Qadir. He got a message that there was a meteor coming. Oh shit, Atlas 31. He got a message that a meteor was coming, and once the meteor hit, all the water was going to be tainted. Bottle your water, because once people drink the tainted water, it's going to drive them crazy. He bottled his water. Everybody else like, man, fuck you. Ain't nobody paying attention to no meteor. So they drunk the water, and everybody started going crazy, so much to the point where he was the only one that was sane. Here's the problem. He was the only one sane, and he felt alone amongst a bunch of fucking fools. So he started drinking the water too. Because he didn't want to be different, because he didn't have anybody else to share his experience with. So he'd rather be insane with the rest of insanity than to be sane and sure of himself. That is where we're at. You get ostracized for thinking different and living different because motherfuckers want you to share their pain. And how dare you be pain-free? Oops. That's where we're at. How dare you show me my sickness? I need you to be cause of my sickness, so I'm going to do something to make you sick just to prove that it was you all along, Scooby-Doo. Didn't we see that last month? Don't you see it every day? But again, if you want to hear at the beginning, I'm telling you, we're in a cyclic drain loop to where if you ain't been paying attention, the same shit coming right back around, only it's getting thicker. It's like that sugar at the bottom of that Kool-Aid. You stirred and stirred and stirred, but there's still some stuck down there. And now it's getting so thick that you can't ignore it. But you're going to keep drinking that motherfucker anyway. Shit is showing us that ain't nothing different. We just kept doing the same. Why? Dirty word, expectations. Our expectations of having our core traumatic need met, the core traumatic need of figuring out my fear, but didn't figure it out for ourselves. We expected what helped substantiate our fear to do it for us. I went to the master and asked him to set me free, knowing good and well that if he set me free, you figure the rest out on your own. So we don't like to think. We think for our traumas, and then we think from the idiotic standpoints of being disconnected from thinking freely. We hive mind think. That is why it's so easy for people to get out here and be batshit fucking crazy and have 1 million followers. Because you only want traumatic nurturing for what sounds good to what you won't let go of, and anything that sounds counter to what you won't let go of endangers you, because you might have to make a change. Oops. 10-10-2025, your core traumatic programming, that need to substantiate your fear, that shit ain't safe. It ain't safe. If you have to have definition for your pain, spiritual BDSM, you're a pain freak. You're a masochist. You like to get beaten because it's the only thing that makes you feel alive. You told Harpo to beat me all's my life. Why you tell Harpo to beat me? Because that's all I know is pain. Holy shit. I'll post that again in a few minutes. Teen Titans Go, Cyborg, and Painbot. Pain. All I know is pain. Lemon juice in a paper cut. Pain. So much pain that you become patient for the leak. What was the leak? My need to make sense of my fear. My need to make sense of my fear means that the leak was in me. And even though I'm losing all of my power, I'm going to sit patiently and wait inside the trap. 1, all of your magic, the illusions, your potential. 4, the trap. 4, where I've established balance. What do you mean established balance? All I know is how to think from what already got me desensitized from myself, because all it shows me is desensitivity. I can't have compassion for that young lady that just got her head blown off because wasn't me. But it could be you. What are you doing to make sure that you're not promoting this idiocracy? Wasn't me. Repost, share, like, comment. This will hurt some of your feelings. But let somebody kick a dog, your motherfucker ass out on the corner. How dare you? And I'm not advocating hurting animals, but you motherfuckers got more compassion for animals than you do your fellow species. Unless it's your fellow species. Sorry, oops, next. 911. 911. Emergency or emergency. Your vibrations have left you justifying why you stay pulled apart. When I break these numbers down, I'm taking the components of 10-10-2025 and I'm looking at the vibrations, and for my mindset, it comes out in different variations like a computer. So 10-10-25, if I work the numbers, I can produce a 911. 2025, 9, 10-10, 11. 911, you in danger, Molly. It ain't just that them towers got knocked down. It ain't them 2 planes that knocked down 3 towers. Ruh-roh, Raggy. It ain't them 2 planes that hit them towers and then all them bombs beneath it, I'm sorry, that blew up the rest of the towers, and that other tower that was around the way that didn't have nothing wrong with it but fell too. It wasn't that smoke and mirrors. That wasn't the real fucking emergency. The whole problem was is that you was too fucking busy being shocked and awed that you didn't see the trick. Not only could jet fuel not burn fucking steel beams, it didn't have to burn steel beams. It burned a part of your memory. It burned a part of the humanity's safe zone. You now, and unfortunately, as I've said for years, in false flags, real people die. In false flags, real people die. So miss me with the bullshit. The problem is, it was shown live, and so people who didn't have that experience of death on that level can't ever leave it. I'm talking about kids, adults, veterans, old people, war survivors, the whole nine. So now you just gave us another choice of just how sick humanity is, and we acquiesced to the sickness because you couldn't get away from it. And then in your fear from eating that level of sickness, you needed safety. So then they served you a Patriot Act and more depravity and more stealing of your rights. But you probably missed that trick too. Why? Because the emergency that was supposed to show you, holy shit, I need to look and see what this shit is. I ran and hid and desired safety. And again, as I said, if you go to who has you sick for your healing, you're a fool. If you go to who's mastering you to be set free, you're a fool. If you go to who's designed to govern you on how to get out of your limitations, you're a fool. So 991, what was the emergency? We just need you to keep coming over. The thought just needs to fool you into keep coming over. God damn it, Martin. Who was guiding you? Who was guiding you to take your people into that integrated house of burning fucking fire? Who was guiding you? Jewish agenda. Excuse me. Excuse me. Jewish. Rothschilds. Excuse me. So you're supposed to emerge and see that I need to work on me before I go work on who been destroying me. But because they sold me something made me feel good, I got led astray. So you didn't get to emergency because the emergency of where you was already being treated with danger, turning the other cheek all the time, being shown the righteous rage of how people really are. You kept coming over to that and expecting to see something different. Well, you saw something different. You saw less of you. Read between the lines in this. When you keep trying to integrate into a system designed for you to fail, the only thing you do is emerge and see your own failure. Holy shit, I might be a motherfucking psychic. The emergency was where you tried to emerge and see yourself. Because now you're going to keep overcoming to that thought that fooled you, because now the only thing you doing is thinking as the fucking fool. Make that fucking make sense. You saw me shuffle the cards. So why? What's the whole problem? What you thinking? What do you mean what I'm thinking? My core traumatic programming that has been fed to me from all I see. All I see is all I can choose from. Hey man, what you gonna do when you go in that buffet? I don't know. I'm gonna choose from what they got in there. But what they got in there? I don't know. I'm gonna see. Who cooked what? I don't know, man. I'm just gonna get what they got. You see that? That droning energy? You can't think for yourself. Everything is already presented as a choice. And then your dumb ass think you got free will. And I'm sorry if my words are harsh, but I'm sorry. I've been doing this for a long time. And it's nothing really other to say than if you really think what you got going on is what you got going on, now I'm a motherfucking stay. But if you tired of waiting for what you think you got going on to actually be what you got going on, motherfucker, do something different. 911, it's an emergency. It's time for you to emerge and see that what you thought you was coming over to might have just been there for you to keep coming over to, so that you never see yourself. Next line, 155. They're trying to hide my post. 155, the alchemist, that one, that potential, the magician, the illusionist, the potential, the alchemist, the fakest motherfucker in your own life, using your potential for something that is already designed to harm you, using your potential for something that is already potentially designed to harm you means that you potentially harmed yourself. I'm not gonna use that example, I'll get banned. But it's just doing something with something that you know is not gonna work out, but you do it anyway. I heard a song in my head, but I'll be dating myself too. It's the Order of Fay from History of the World, Part 2. The Order of Fay. 155. The alchemist is the master manipulator and often the most manipulated. Basically, everything I just said. If you don't know that your alchemy is really just an ill use of your energy, trying to change something by applying your magic into the potentials of what you want based off of what you've been told to choose from, might not want you. It might just be designed to keep your ass on a journey, because what you want will never be. And when it never be, you'll lie to yourself and tell yourself it's getting close. September 23rd, Jesus will be here. October 8th, Jesus will be here. October 9th, Jesus will be here. November the 5th, the alien's coming. I always repost them. It may take about a day or two, but I always repost my videos. So feel free to go back and look at it. Thank you for stopping through. But 155, the alchemist is the master manipulator and often the most manipulated person, because in order to manipulate, you need energy. Nobody has more energy than the magician. The magician has all the potential. But if you're giving your potential into something that is designed to trick you, it couldn't trick you without your permission. Holy shit, free will. There's that 10. It's your free will, Lilith choice. Choose between this trick and that trick. But I don't want to shut up and choose. I ain't gonna show you nothing different till you choose. Holy shit, Kadir. These motherfuckers crazy. These motherfuckers crazy. Keep your sanity. I'm lonely. I'm gonna choose one of these crazy motherfuckers because now I'm going crazy too. Holy shit. In that analogy, these motherfuckers crazy, these motherfuckers crazy, and I'm losing my sanity because I see everybody else is insane. Where was the spiritual war? I need you to think. Where was the spiritual war in that equation? Was it with these crazy people who you know are crazy? Or was it these crazy people that you know are crazy? Or was it with your sanity that you're about to lose by trying to battle with something that only wants you to become different? See, these were the knowns. This was a known. But you felt like you were about to lose your known to these unknowns that you already know. Don't we call that ignorance? The spiritual war is with your ignorance. I keep telling y'all, the spiritual war is with your choices. Hello, 10. Your choices. You can stay in your abundance or you can end up in overwhelm. Lilith choice. You can choose between enslavement up under Adam, or you can choose to be chained to the rock by 3 angels and birth 1,000 demons a day. Wait a minute. Those are my choices? Yes. Why? Says who? Hold on a second. Let's go ask. The ineffable one says you got to do it. Okay. Submission. Nah. We finna fight. I'm going to try and get away first. Before I have to make a choice, you have to show me that I have to make a choice. I have to stand up for myself. That's where I'm getting at. You have to stand up for yourself sooner or later. You cannot just keep submitting to everything designed to put you in submission, because again, did it force you into submission, or did you just operate out of fear? Realistically, you operate out of fear. 2020, you operate out of fear. Holy shit. We can find a way to stop placebo and nocebo. If you don't understand placebo, the dangerous side is nocebo, N-O-C-E-B-O. You don't understand that you are nocebo affecting yourself by feeding the ideology of sickness, that something that has a low mortality rate has an exponential mortality rate coupled with bad medicine and pharmaceutical mispractices. So you only endanger yourself further. When the whole thing was, stop giving them your energy. Stop giving your energy. They don't mean you no good. They never meant you no good. If I'm sick, I better learn how to heal. Not keep thinking something is so much greater than me that I'm now sick of worry from being sick about worrying about being sick. You already manipulated yourself. So the next line is 335. 33 in my number system is experience. It is, it was already right here. It's the thought that keeps replicating. Overcome, 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 3, 3, 3, 3. That's the experience. It's not ascension. It's not the 33 vertebrae in my kundalini. It's an imprint of where you have been manifested into an experience based off of the strongest thought that you think. And that strongest thought that you think, fear, will keep on replicating experiences to keep you in control. You 33'd, all right. You're the genie. You're bound to the initial thought that helps form your creation, and it don't want to give you any other choices. So 33 says you're trapped in this experience, and 5 is movement. 5 says just keep moving. 5 is motion. 5 is manipulation. 5 is manifestation. 5 is amplification. 5 is stillness. Stillness is an act. Being still around a bunch of people that won't move or that won't stop moving, I mean to say, that takes energy. Just being aware will show you before you use it. Fighting for stillness, I just want my peace. You're already in agitation. So 355 says the experience is move. The more energy in motion, aka emotion, energy in motion, my emotions. The more energy in motion, the better the experience can learn. And that's all this is that thought just wants the experience of taking your energy and producing a result. How does it do that? By keeping you in alignment. By making sure you only have choices that keep you conducively productive for it. Keep you so desensitized from choosing anything else, so it only shows you what keeps it safe. Remember I told you the core traumatic programming was fear? Your thoughts have it too. The fear of not being able to think is a fear for a thought. The fear of not becoming an actual experience is a fear for a thought. So the experience is move, aka motion, better experience for the learn. I cringe at how 99% of y'all can't see that, but alas, you got to figure it out for yourself. If you can't see that your experiences are just moving you and most of them are not giving you the opportunity to learn how to be still and see shit for what it is, can't nobody help you. A reflection point such as myself can speak until I'm blue in the tongue, but it is your choice to gravitate towards figuring out whether there's anything in what I'm saying that you might to want to check against what you're thinking for yourself. It is not about changing how you do things. It is about understanding why you do what you do. Not think like how I think, but figure out why you do what you do. That is it. That's how all of your experiences should be. I do what I do because this is what works out for me. Holy shit, is it working out for me because this is based off of a fear? Or is it working out for me because this keeps me out of feeding that fear? You got to figure that out on your own. So 3355 says the experience is just keep moving. Just keep moving. But what I tell you, you're going to stay hidden. Remember, I keep telling you 20 is judgment. It came out in reverse. If the experience says just keep moving, and then you're going to end up being hidden in all the motions, that's what we call the Akashic lie. You're going to identify what the experience moved you into: reincarnation, soul snatching, soul swapping, destiny swapping, all these other bullshit ass terms y'all keep lying to yourself about. You're going to make up lower level traps within the initial trap. So you trap yourself within a trap because it feels better about being in a trap that you think you know than the one that you can't figure out how to get free from. Sorry, people do that all day long. You lie to yourself about what shit is because it makes you feel better about having something to lie to yourself about than to have to face the fact why you lying to yourself altogether. Let your life tell your tale. Oh, it's all fuckery anyway. Really though. So that 33:5 says you're going to become hidden in all your movements because your judgment has already been ruled over by your choices. Why'd you do that? I don't know, man. It wasn't about me. I wasn't feeling myself at the moment. All I could do was think about what he or she wanted. Holy shit. So you mean you thought more about them than yourself? Yeah. Why? Because I was scared that I was going, holy shit, fear. I was scared I was going to lose them. Motherfuckers do that every day. We've all done that. Hell, as a parent, you do that shit almost every day. That's a whole nother class though. In this realm of your attachments, most of your higher level functions are only a reflection of what keeps you in the game. Your attachments will make you become more responsible for them than you are yourself. And until you can figure out where your energy going, you got to do what you got to do. I can't help you with that one. That's an individual responsibility. But you, in the form of an attachment, when you have more energy for what's moving you, you can never guarantee your own stillness. Why? Because you become hidden in the equation. Your judgment is not about you. You are judging the value of what you're connected to. And unfortunately, most of y'all are more connected to your innate fear. Even when you're going to lie and tell yourself, it's my gain, it's my abundance, it's this, that, and the other. It's still a form of fear. All of us have a fear. It's a core traumatic programming of a being in existence. A soul in separation that has already authorized separation already has an innate fear of wholeness. If it didn't have an innate fear of wholeness, it would hold itself together. Sorry, just basic common sense. So that 335 takes you into this dangerous part right here, 227. 3.14 pi. The formula for pi is 227, 22 over 7. 22 is your journey. Same thing I just got through saying. 7 is my self-awareness. If my spiritual journey that I'm building is now greater than who I am, I'm already going to be in pieces. And unfortunately, like I just got through saying, as long as you are tangibly manifested in this realm, that's kind of like, as far as I made it, that's par for the course. You're always going to be connected to something because we're experiencing separation. My thing that I keep telling y'all is figure out what you're connected to and why so that you can streamline the energy versus being connected to everything and then figuring out why I can't keep still, my head hurt. Or connected to shit that is only destroying you and figure out why you ain't got no energy. Start learning reciprocal reflections. Holy shit, 22/7. Start learning the reciprocal reflections of the equations called life. 22/7 is what I call the pi theory. The pi theory kicks in again on tomorrow. Figure out whether you are eating or whether you're being eaten. Again, with 22/7 pi, I need to figure out whether I'm moving through my choices that are going to show me how to move less, or if I'm moving through my choices that are going to show me more. This is for them people who can't get out of that chase the bag mentality that, no, this isn't who I want to be. I have to change myself into something different. You've already burnt out the wholeness of your perceived meat suit. You need a new identity. You've already lost value for who you are. You don't want to do the work on getting out of who you are. You want a fresh start by trying to change your identity. That is a lot of people. That is going to be a lot of people next year with these spiritual addictions. We see it. I say it almost every night. You're Christian one night, Catholic the next night, Muslim the next night, an occultist the next night, an atheist the next night, a Buddhist the next night, a Taoist the next night, a Sufi the next night, a Satanist the next night, Gnostic the next night. You're Benny from the fucking the mummy. You're Benny from the mummy. You're well versed in everything except for your goddamn self. So at that point, the question was, are you eating or are you been eaten? You've been eaten. Everything got your energy. Everything got your energy. You love being pulled apart. Loads of vast energy. Your energy has been exerted in trying to find definition in everything that you're choosing from. Your energy of trying to figure out your connection to everything you chose from means you hid from choosing you. And now you're in the abundance of the choices that you keep coming over to, and you're going to wait patiently until you find yourself. You're going to sit in enslavement and wait on somebody else to set you free. because you no longer think you're enough to do it on your own. Damn. What happens in the higher realms happens in the lower realms, because what happens in the lower realms creates the higher realms and vice versa. Loads of vast energy. 6, my foundations. What do you mean my foundations? My core traumatic programming. My core traumatic programming is what I love. What do I love? The fear of having to learn to stop pulling myself apart might mean I have to hold myself together. Did you get that? If I learn to stop giving my energy into people that's only designed to pull me apart, I might have to become accountable for why I can't hold myself together. So hell no, I ain't gonna let you leave. Hell no, I don't want to be alone. Hell no, you can't go. Because if you ain't there for me to blame, I might realize, holy shit, it was me. I was the one with the issue. I'm the one with the leak. So your pie theory will show you where you've been eaten and being eaten by yourself. Holy shit. Spiritual cannibalism. Next line, 56. Woo! What's up, Mac? You can fracture yourself. In this realm, it's real easy to fracture yourself. If you exert enough energy, you can fracture yourself. And while I won't advise it, it's a hell of an experience. It's a hell of an experience when you have to face the pieces of you that you've invested so much energy in hiding from, that they won't be still. Over my years, especially in my first 6 or 7 years as a practitioner, I used to run to people with this all the time. I woke up in the middle of the night and it was this dark figure sitting at the edge of the bed. It wasn't scary, but it felt real familiar. And I just thought I had a demon. No, it's a piece of your fragmentation. It was a piece of you that you won't honor, and it got tired of you hiding from your light. So it presented itself in the form of your shadows so that you could face it. Fragmentation. Traumatic core memories. 88 gatekeepers. The pieces of yourself in separation, not always co-relevant to this current version of you, but still you in separation nonetheless. If you understand that you are not who you are, I'm not who I am, this is just what the fuck we think. When you come back your next reincarnation cycle, you're going to think something different. But yet this experience is already included. Sometimes the fragmentation process of the human soul in separation gets tired of playing in separation. It's lost patience for leaking itself out, and it's tired of coming over and over trying to figure out its abundance, and then it realized, holy shit, my abundance was hidden from me because I keep moving, trying to find love. Love will win in the end. You goddamn right. It's a load of vast energy. It is exertion of energy in search of self by trying to find that through the experience of others. Make that make sense. I'm going to find love by finding somebody to show me the proper value. Nope, you better find the proper value yourself before you keep losing the value yourself in what you're finding in the attachment of others. But you can't teach that one because your ego won't set you free, because it's a core fear called knowledge. I need to know what love is. I loved it to them real hard, and it hurt me to let them go. No, you just had a high grade attachment. You had an affinity for the experience. But you can't teach that one. So 56, Mac, make a choice. What should you be choosing? Yourself. Or else, if you keep choosing what is designed to keep you coming over and over and over again, you keep getting nutted on. So, Mac, make a choice. Any movement creates a trauma, and a trauma is just a marker for a time-invested experience. How do you measure an experience? With time. The amount of energy I exerted throughout a set period. The amount of energy I exerted throughout a set period that becomes a defined experience is already a traumatic point of flow. You understand sines and waves? Energy flows. Holy shit, it's an experience. It crests up. The experience is over. It crests down. Was it bad or good? No, it was just motion. But it's a trauma nonetheless. Why? Because it took me off of my status quo and into formations. If you don't understand that. So since you don't understand that a trauma is just a marked experience, that good and bad bullshit, that's on you. 56 says just make a choice. Are you going to keep investing in experiences? If you're going to move, this is what Max says. If you're going to move, you better choose the experiences that keep you in higher vibrations and not the one that keep taking you lower, trying to find a way to get back onto your path. Stay on your path and you see something worth moving. Because you know what? If you make that choice to move, guess who's accountable? You. If you keep making choices that put you in subduction, now you got to fight to get back to feeling free. So if you're going to make a choice and keep traumatizing yourself through movements, searching for love, learn to love you first. Learn to hold you together so you won't keep tearing everything else apart. So you won't keep tearing everything else apart. 8, struggle, going on this fucking loop. You probably won't get it. But if I could put these 2 3s together from this position, it would make an 8. 1 3 is going that way, the other 3 is going that way. I'm trying to overcome the thought that has ran that way and the thought that ran that way. But if I put them back together, it would create an 8, and then I could see the struggle. What was the struggle? My movements. Why was my movements the struggles? Because they were only based in fear. What was my fear? Love. I need to exert energy to figure out who I am because I don't have definition on my own. Therefore, I will create it. Sorry if you're not getting that. So that Mac choice said you can achieve whatever you're struggling with. All you got to do is give your power to the thoughts that are keep trying to make you choose. Remember, this started with choice. So from that 56, you go to 11. 11, justifications. Remember, you're going to choose 1 0 choice, 1 0 choice. How did that 1 0 get there? Because they fooled the 0 into giving their energy. So was it a 1 0 there, or was it really a 1? That choice wasn't there until I gave it my energy. That choice wasn't there until I gave it my energy. It was just a perspective and prospect and perception. But it's not real until I invest my energy. So 11 is whichever one you justify giving your energy to will be where you end up in separation. I did not say the cause of the separation. It will be the results of the separation. The cause of the separation is choice. The cause of the separation is the chooser. It's not the choice, it's the person that makes the choice. So 11 is whatever I justify. And again, I call this, where we talk about this thoughts and manifestation and experiences, this is the experiment in experiencing existence by making a choice so that you can gain identity by investing your value and belief in what you want to see. And that's really what all it is. So it's why the experiment in experiencing continues infinitely, because of energetic investment via belief, value, and identifying with the experience you perceive to be moving through. That's what my write-up says. So whatever you justify is what's going to become. 29. Remember I said these were choices. You're just trying to find your 9, your highest vibration, and what you're going to choose. 2 9s. Whichever one you choose, both of them got your energy. Why? Because it was just one thought that presented choices. One thought that presented infinite choices. So no matter which way you move, that one thought has all of your energy. It's just going to invest it in many different ways. It's just like a good fucking stock market broker. Hey, I want to invest in precious metals and technologies. Okay, well, here's your $5,000. I'm going to put some over here, some over there, some over here. It's still all your energy. It's just in different experiences trying to see what gains it can make. So you just trying to stabilize your choice by investing in whichever one is going to keep you safe. This is the element of earth. This is where I see my belief. Remember, I told you justification was based off of belief and identification and value. I'm just trying to see the best point of return, the one that's going to stabilize my choice. But what's 2 + 9? 11. You justifying your choice. You justified where you already knew you should not justify this choice. Your fear of not having definition made you justify why that's not safe. I cannot make these moves. That is why a lot of y'all stay stuck in where you at now, is because you can, again, this ain't about me, but you can hear me and many other people tell you, hey man, all these systems down here are containment systems to keep you chasing yourself. You will see that and you'll be like, you know what? We are bigger than our signs, but I'm an Aries. And my Lilith dark node and my Sagittarius moon is why I act the way I act. But wholeness. So you mean you know you bigger than these signs, but you keep going back to these signs because they give you definition. They give you the stability of justifying why you made a choice to struggle because you love it. And since you love it more than you love yourself, you stay hidden in that choice and keep coming over and over again and wondering why you leaking. That justification becomes a dangerous ass thing. That stability, you stopped your ability to be free because you want freedom to come from what enslaved you. Again, could go many places with that, but the most current one that is on the return, again, look at what happened during COVID. We had an opportunity to become free by making better choices that reflect us. All they did was put a bug in front of you and you made better choices to reflect your enslavement by asking your enslaver to enslave you so that you don't get sick. Two, connection, knowledge. Two, the high priestess. There's something greater than me, and I just want to be in the best position of what's greater than me so I can see the greatness of myself. Overseer. You just want to be in a better position than everybody else that's enslaved, but you want to be enslaved to what's better than you, just a little bit better than everybody else. I want to have a connection to what's over us all so that, while I'm still here and enslaved, at least I can see the enslavement. Okay, you see the enslavement. Are you going to do anything to get free? No, I still choose to stay here because as long as I can hear, Spirit sent me a download message from Spirit. As long as you can keep getting messages from Spirit without realizing Spirit was you in separation, you made the choice of answering your leak that has you trapped within yourself. As long as you hearing yourself in enslavement, you think you're free. That's not stability. That's cosmic schizophrenia. That's cosmic psychosis. But two, the connection presents an opportunity for knowledge and the addiction to learning through the use of your own potential, which allows for my saying, knowledge gets you fucked up. If you don't know that which you are channeling is you in separation is trying to teach you your wholeness based off of its own version of wholeness inside of your separation. You better start listening to yourself. You can listen to pieces of you in separation so much to the point to where you understand they're only speaking from their perspective of separation. But if their perspective of separation is not helping you perfect your own perspective and experience of a wholeness, what are you doing? You only connected to something to keep you contained. You only connected to something that's going to keep you contained. You connected to the voices in your head, the tower card, that are only a sign of your own destruction. The things to help keep you in order. In order and where? Within the separation within myself. Why is the separation within myself so important? Because it only contains the core trauma of fear. I am scared of not being separated, so I just want organization within the separation so I can figure out where separation can lead me into wholeness in separation. This is no different than what I tell you all the time. Inside of an illusion, nothing's real. You can just accept it. And what's the first thing y'all gonna get a high and do? See, we intertwine into multiple realities. I'm sorry. Let your life tell your tale. But if you keep thinking this shit's real and even dumbass science and government tell you that this shit is just a holographic illusion, but you don't want to believe that because that challenges your core trauma that this gotta be real, even though everything is telling you, no, this is just you and a fucking illusion. Sorry. You know what? There was 9 planets. Now there's 687. You know what? There was only one galaxy around here. Now there's 12 running around here with 17 other suns that we can now see yesterday, but we couldn't see 6 to 7 years ago. I don't know what to tell you. If you can't see that they're just showing you more and more that what you see is not what you thought you should see or do that you know, but yet it is all you believe. Core trauma. 3-5. Thought. Movement. 3-5-8. That thought will keep moving you until you stop struggling. Did you catch that? That thought will keep moving you until you stop struggling. Not until you fight to get free. There is no spiritual choice. There's no spiritual war. The spiritual war is with your movements. Why do you move so easily? Why do you keep eating the those cakes of forgetfulness? Because you're too scared, fear, to remember. Old ash hashtag since about 2015. The remembrance is up on us. Some of y'all are scared to do it. So that's why you get stuck in this fucking realm with the need to know. Yet that what you think you know is not what you know at all. Knowledge gets you fucked up, but you gotta let your life tell your tale. Wholeness. Don't let that core traumatic programming fuck you over.